House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan leads the effort in Congress to hold the deep state accountable, and he joins us now. Mr. Chairman, great to have you. I love the topic. I love the subject. Walk us through your criminal referral regarding Obama CIA Director John Brennan.
Well, as you know, Matt, you're not supposed to lie, but you're definitely not supposed to lie when you're under oath in front of the United States Congress. And it looks like that's exactly what John Brennan did. And one of the individuals he lied to is the host of the Matt Gaetz show. When you asked him, I thought a great question about the dossier, and he said, I had no involvement with the dossier. He told the committee that he didn't want the dossier in any way referenced in the intelligence community assessment. But guess what? Tulsi Gabbard released the classified version. She declassified the HPSI report, and it says just the opposite. It says Brennan was up to his eyeballs with the dossier, that he actually put in writing he wanted it in the report. And the best one was when another CIA official came to Mr. Brennan and said, Mr. Brennan, there's no intelligence to support the dossier. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be in this report. He says, yeah, but doesn't it ring true? Which I think got to his motive. He was out to get the president, put it in the report that they took up to President Trump when he was President-elect Trump in January of 2017 and shared with him. They were out to get him. And so based on your good questions, we got him, I think, lying to Congress. And so that's why we don't do many of these referrals. It's got to be there. But it sure looks like it was, and that's why we're sending it to the Justice Department. One of the defenses
former Director Brennan could offer is that this wasn't really a material lie. Whether he was involved in this or the FBI, that didn't really matter to the work of the Congress. So why do you think the lie was material?
Well, because this is when it all began. I mean, I think it's really important. We're talking about 2016, 2017, between when President Trump was elected, when he was sworn in. They take this report, they go up to Trump Tower, briefing on it. They set the stage, establish the predicate for the Mueller investigation using this garbage document, the dossier. I think this is when it all started. And I would also point to, I think there's a pattern with Mr. Brennan. We included this in our letter back in 2017 when then Congressman Gowdy asked him questions in a public hearing. I think he was not square with Mr. Gowdy. I think he lied there. And then, of course, there's the context of when you asked him the question, when the committee asked him the questions. It was during our investigation of the 51 former intel officials who signed that ridiculous letter that said the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian information operation, which was all garbage. So we think there's a pattern of him not being square with the American people, not being square with Congress. That's all part of it, too. That's why we think this is material and important.
And we were asking these questions with Brennan opening the door to himself as this great expert, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
To us, it just seemed bizarre that people were using their security clearance to try to advance a political campaign. That's the normal, I would say, cut in the grass we do in oversight. But then when we said, well, Mr. Brennan, how is it that you were able to draw these conclusions about the Hunter Biden laptop?
Yeah.
He said, well, because I know everything about Russia. I'm an expert on all of these things. And then, of course, once he said everything was fair game to inform his experience, we had to delve into the Steele dossier because it was so deeply corrupt. I did think it was interesting, Mr. Chairman, that he said, well, this was the FBI. Do you think as these investigations continue, there'll be more of this finger pointing where, back when you and I were some of the only ones defending President Trump, we were out there saying, look, all this stuff is nonsense. They were saying it was all true. Have we now reached the chapter in the book where CIA will blame FBI, they'll blame CIA, and that's how they'll try to evade accountability?
We may, in fact, be there. Of course, Mr. Comey's been charged with also violating 18 U.S.C. 1001 and not being square with the Congress. So we may be there. But yeah, I thought it was interesting when I went back and looked at the transcript, how he was pretty strong on that was the FBI. But what we didn't have then is what was declassified by ODNI Director Gabbard, where it says, yeah, but the CIA confronted him on this stuff, and he still wanted it in the assessment. And I think that is the critical point. And never forget, and I know your viewers understand this, but never forget where this all began. The Clinton campaign paid the law firm Perkins Coie, who hired Fusion GPS, who hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who wrote the garbage document. So that was the pattern. It was political, and they knew it. But they wanted to get him so bad. Doesn't it ring true? They wanted to get him so bad, they took the dossier, Comey did, to the secret court to get the warrant to go spy on President Trump's campaign, and then they used it in the assessment that they actually briefed the president on.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.